Hello there, and welcome to episode 29 of the Barely Banter podcast. 29, one more till the big 3-0.
We'll have to do something special for 30.
Yes,
we will. It's always, a big build up to your 30th, premised with crushing disappointment.
An awful crescendo.
We'll watch that episode of Friends when they all turn 30 and just drink excessively before hitting the record button.
Yes, that's a deal.
I could just reminisce on my own birthday, if you like.
Did you watch that episode just before you turned 30 or within like a fortnight of the big day?
No, I did not. Did you?
Of course I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I am your usual host and I am drinking Hobgoblin Session IPA. It's not bad, actually, to be fair. I'm considering bringing this to Bloodstock.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 3 for £22 at Asda.
Can I try it, please?
That's 30 beers for 22 quid.
So
Let's try it. It's an honest review.
That's less than £1
Way
can,
less,
isn't it?
way less, yeah.
Pretty well done.
Yeah, I'd drink that.
Remember, it won't be cold at Bloodstock.
No. Good point. I should leave it in my car on a hot day and then try it.
Anyway, yes. And the other voices you can hear belong to...
I'm Claire, and I've just cracked a Hobgoblin Session IPA. We'll see how that goes. And I also have a neck oil on the go, which I think is going to be quite the shock when I return to it and finish it off. Very, very happy to be here.
The neck oil is ruthlessly expensive.
Oh,
I think
no,
it was
it was.
£19 for 12 stubbies, essentially, or something.
Not a good deal. Before this, we went to the shop to try and get something. It ended up being, I suppose, just over £1 a can, wasn't it? Or just under £2 a can.
Cheapest we could find was Camden 4-pack for £5.50. Neck oil, they wanted £8.50 for 4. Yeah, I was like, absolutely not. This came from a multi-pack that was on offer.
I begrudge paying more than £1 a can in a crate.
Yeah.
Especially with a stubby.
Yeah,
especially with the stubby.
Yeah.
I'm Lorna, I am back, and I am drinking IPA India Pale Ale.
Another Aldi special.
It is, yeah, it's a salmon can, but it's like grapefruit flavour, very nice.
Anyway, literally every piece of research that I've done for this revolves entirely around Middle-earth.
Yes.
Which kind of does make me happy. The big news in relation to this topic, of course, is the recent announcement for The Hunt for Gollum, which is going to be the first of a new batch of Lord of the Rings films. This one is to be released in 2026, which, all things considered, is quite close.
It's not that far away.
Not that far away at all. Judging by the title, the movie is based on the original appendices of Tolkien's work, in which Gandalf recruits Aragorn to go and find Gollum and bring him to the Woodland Realm so he can be interrogated for information about the One Ring.
Oh.
So it runs alongside the Fellowship story?
In terms of book-wise, it's about 17 years before the events of the Fellowship.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Directed and starring Andy Serkis. Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens will produce the feature and be involved every step of the way. Unknown at present if Howard Shore will return to compose the score, and the same can be said about the concept design being helmed by Alan Lee and John Howe, who worked alongside Peter Jackson and company along all of the
That's a good taste.
Lord of the Rings related films, including the Hobbit trilogy.
We don't talk about the Hobbit.
Yeah, I was
No,
say,
if you're playing podcast bingo, there's no way we're going to avoid the Hobbit. It is, I do shout the Hobbit in a minute. Right. Recurring characters, and this is estimations based on the title/premise. I would say, well, obviously Gollum, Gandalf and Aragorn. Because the plot is built off an appendices, there will be padding, and the team behind this movie are super experienced at padding out Tolkien's work.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the Hobbit shout-out comes in. Personal predictions for other characters featured are Thranduil.
That's Galadriel's fella.
No, that's Legolas's dad.
Oh, yeah. He's the asshole with the stag.
It's an elk, isn't it? Yeah,
Is
he
it an
rides
elk?
the elk.
So he's the fella with the horned elk.
The Middle-earthy elk.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Yes, that's him. The Mouth of Sauron and Sauron himself will be in it. It's going to feature Gollum being tortured for a bit, isn't it?
Oh, that's fun.
This must be an 18+.
No, he was tortured in a flashback in the Fellowship. It wasn't... You just
15?
saw his hands going up and down in some sort of machine. It wasn't bad at all. I think Shelob will return. Arwen, Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin and Legolas, I think, will be in it.
What makes you think they'll be in it?
Because it's going to tie into the Shire, I think, at some points. I think it will end with them meeting Aragorn and the Prancing Pony, maybe. It's entirely possible. I mean, it's just a guess, because obviously, as I said, it's based on appendices. He's going to need to blow that up. Add so much shit. I have a lot of curiosities about the casting decisions which have yet to be made, because Andy Serkis has been recently asked about this, and he's like, I'm not at that stage of pre-production yet.
Oh.
My, not concerns, but curiosities are The Return of the King, released 21 years ago.
Wow.
And as we touched on earlier, The Hunt for Gollum in terms of continuity is one of the preludes to Fellowship of the Ring. So I'm wondering what they're going to do. Are they going to use de-aging technology by ways of the CGI method? New actors, perhaps?
Did you watch, what was that film? Was it The Irishman? And they made them younger.
They did it with the latest Indiana Jones film as well with Harrison Ford.
Did it
for
work?
flashback purposes. Sort of.
Did it break the fourth wall a touch?
A little bit. You could tell, but for the sake of what it was only a brief... It was like a cold cut to it, but for a whole movie, I'm not sure. To put it into some sort of like perspective for you, Viggo Mortensen, who you know as Aragorn...
How old is he now?
He is 65 now.
You
Viggo
can't make
Mortensen.
him look younger,
He is older now than Ian McKellen was during the filming of Fellowship.
Good grief.
Ian McKellen himself is 85.
Fuck me.
Wow.
I've actually, for all these recurring characters, for the sake of epic research, I have wrote down how old everyone is now.
Intrigued.
Okay, Lee Pace, who plays Thranduil, is now 45. Obviously, the mouth of Sauron is Sauron, and Shelob can be done through CGI. Arwen, Liv Tyler, is 46.
She'll be fine.
Elijah Wood, who plays Frodo, is 43. He'll be fine. He hasn't aged a single second.
Same,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sean Astin, who plays Sam, is 53.
Oh.
Dominic Monaghan, who plays Merry, is 47. Billy Boyd, who we know as Pippin, is 55. And Orlando Bloom himself is 47.
Well, interestingly, they were all seen together having dinner recently as like a mini reunion, and it was like, some of the cast are together. So they were dropping there.
Connecting, aren't they?
So my money's on them all being in it.
Well, it won't work overtime for all of them, the CGI.
I suppose as well, if they're in on the creative process, they might be mentors for the people that are stepping into their roles as their younger selves.
Yeah, because John Rhys Davis, who played Gimli, the dwarf in the Lord of the Rings films, did that for each member of the cast that played one of the many dwarfs in that film.
Oh,
he was on set just giving them... he was just there for support.
That's
It'd have been
true.
nice to have on set regardless.
Yeah.
Nice bloke anyway.
Adds confidence to the legitimacy of what they're doing as well.
An insight for sure, yeah, the character.
It's going to be a toughie either way, because if they use new actors, there's going to be a kick-off of some description. If they use de-aging technology, they'll be like, it's killed immersion, it looks like shit, if it looks like shit, or whatever.
I personally would like to see younger actors have a go.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, because it would be interesting. I think it's something that Hollywood tends to do to push people that are on the up-and-coming anyway, is bringing them into roles like this.
The only one that you could theoretically get away with is Ian McKellen as Gandalf, because he's obviously in his starry and they're permanently old, basically.
Yes. I was going to say Michael Sheen, who is Gollum. That's not.
That's Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
He'll be done with motion capture, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he can still do the voice.
Yeah, he didn't do the movements, did he?
Yeah, motion capture. He was
He
wearing
actually did do the movements.
all of it. Yeah, everything. Not one bit of Gollum was see. It was all like he put on a suit. He had to roll down the rivers in the freezing cold. He was jumping around doing all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that was all Andy Serkis. Every bit of it.
In that little stream where he's trying to catch that fish,
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
misses it, and he's like, and having a hissy fit in it. That whole set was covered in snow, and they had to melt it all away. Put him in a double suit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was still cold as fuck. Of course it
And off
was.
he went fucking down this. Anyway, my concern about it being so Andy Serkis focused is that it will literally just be all about him rather than the actual homage to the story. That's a concern I have. That it'll be a bit self-indulgent because he's like, direct the film, be in the film, main character of it. You know what I mean?
He's directing it.
He directed a fair few chunks of the Hobbit trilogy and the Lord of the Rings as well. Because there were so many different things going on in so many different locations during the entirety of that project that Peter Jackson physically couldn't be there for each of them. He did do some remotely.
Sometimes...
But it was still too much at the same time. Like, imagine having to direct where you are on set and then you've got, like, monitors and people on the phone to you saying, what do we do for this next scene? It'd be crazy, wouldn't it? So he had to delegate.
Yeah.
And that's how Andy Serkis basically got into directing.
I think it was like, the role chose him.
But I do believe, I agree with you, I think this is going to be very much like a auteur project. It is called The Hunt for Gollum, after all.
Yeah, I get that.
I see now, yeah. I didn't know if he was being a bit harsh, thinking, if he's got it, But this is write the theme tune, sing the theme tune.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather watch him indulge than someone like Tom Cruise indulge, for example.
You make
Yeah,
a good point. I'm just happy to have more content.
And he would do a good homage because
Passionate about
very
the source material.
source material, and it is actually source material, isn't it?
Mm.
And I
The
think that will
appendices.
really help.
A couple of sentences of source
That's
material.
all we
yeah.
need.
It's all they want, really.
Yeah,
I wonder how
It's the
long
perfect excuse.
Yeah.
Do you know how much source material they're actually referring to?
I should have wrote it down for quite but it basically just says Gandalf recruited Aragorn to go hunt for Gollum. Side note, and this definitely deserves a shout out. As I was researching this shit, I came across a fan-made film called The Hunt for Gollum, which released in 2009 by an indie studio called Independent Online Cinema, and I thought, fuck it, seems like apropos background fodder, and it's only 38 minutes long. Honestly, it's by no means a bad watch. All aspects of filmmaking are efficiently executed, all things considered. The acting is perfectly acceptable, as is the costume design, hair and makeup, and special effects, especially when you consider that this labour of love that's been free to view on YouTube since release was manufactured on a less than £3,000 budget. Because of these impecunious restrictions, this English indie studio had to trade New Zealand for more domestic locations, North Wales, Epping Forest near Essex, and Hampstead Heath. Obviously, they're inferior by comparison, but a suitable replacement nonetheless.
yeah.
Also, shout out to the 160 volunteers that helped bring it all to life. I really love passion projects like this, and it certainly deserves the overwhelming attention it will inevitably receive since the announcement of Circuses and Jackson's latest Tolkien-themed adaptations of the same name.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
It's not even viewable in 1080.
Oh,
720p.
that's fabulous.
2009.
Like this.
Oh,
Its effects are on par with The Hobbit.
some great games
Right.
come out.
Honestly.
Gollum
Hobbit
looks
was shit.
decent. Gollum really looks decent. You only see him briefly. It's probably where all the
It's all the
budget
budget,
went.
yeah.
He spent most of it in a sack on Aragorn's back and like shadows and silhouettes and stuff.
That's worth a look, surely.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of things like this, I've been watching a lot of B movies lately.
Nice.
Some beavers in particular.
Yes.
Most recently. But one of the gentlemen that directed a lot of films like this died recently. So a bit of a shout out to that guy. B-movie master Roger Corman dies aged 98. He brought us some fabulous film. You know Dino Croc versus Super Gator?
Wow.
I
That was
love
one of
those
his.
sort of films.
Yeah, all
Mega
this
Shark
stuff.
versus some other
Yeah.
buttfuck creature.
Piranaconda,
That's-
Dino Shark,
Yeah, that's
Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader. He has honestly brought us some
bangers.
beautiful fucking films. Some of which we've all seen. I've seen Dino Croc versus Super Gator. And enjoyed.
I've seen the Mega Shark one.
You can make a drinking game to anything, can't you?
I love movies like that. They're so much more entertaining than like Godzilla versus Kong. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's more
It's
of a
too
passion
polished.
project. Yes, yeah. Like, guaranteed it did not make much dollar when it first came out.
Absolutely not. But I think people have a real appreciation for these films more and more. I
Of
think
course,
lockdown
yes.
helped.
Yes, sometimes it pops into the mainstream. I remember when on Radio 1 they went about Sharknado.
Sharknado, yeah. There's
Yeah,
like five
there's
of those
five of
fuckers now,
those,
yeah.
Yeah, they ended up like following the whole thing and like interviewing like the actors and that because it was Radio 1 that was. So no, like, I wouldn't, he's not part of that. The director.
He didn't do Sharknado, no. I can find
I
a
love
bigger
the
list if you like. Hang on. So we've got Sharktopus.
Oh.
That film is tragic.
Yes.
In a beautiful way.
Absolutely enamoured by some of these titles.
on,
Let's find
then.
out more together.
What would your amalgamation of creatures be that you would make fight each other?
Do you know, even though he sounds like he bases his on water, I would move mine to land.
Mm.
And I'd have like snail elephant.
Snelephant.
A snailphant.
Snelephant. Yeah, something like that.
I feel like Snelephant is better.
Snelephant, okay.
It rolls off the tongue nicer.
As a romantic comedy. Because there's usually teenagers like cheerleaders.
Some kind of coming of
In
age
the-
situation.
I'm trying to think of like fun creature combinations
yes.
to
What-
Frankenstein together and have them fight.
Well, water, land, air. Which one you going for?
Land, I think, is more fun. But I was also thinking of shit like, I don't know, coked up alligator versus sleep deprived rhino. Or shit
Well,
like that.
Oh, see, I was mushing mine together.
Put them on
to
drugs
make
as
a
well,
monster.
fuck it.
Oh,
A
right.
fabulous alternative to Cocaine Bear, which is behind a paywall on all platforms, which is bullshit. Cocaine Cougar. Drink every time you see a CGI animal.
Okay.
Wait, is that an actual thing?
You can get it for free on either Netflix or on Amazon Prime.
This croft is probably full of coked up cougars.
Yes, what creature would you have?
Like, I'm picturing a crab, a big crab.
Your starting crab.
I'm starting crab as, like, my
Okay.
foundation.
Are you scaling it up or down?
I want to add shit to it. Like, I think we're a crab with a... I was about to say a crab with a scorpion tail is basically just a hardened scorpion, isn't
Oh,
it?
like
really?
It's just a scorpion
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
yeah.
Slightly different shape. My
Maybe you
imagination is fucking atrocious.
Maybe you should do that anyway and then see if people
Yeah,
get
fuck
it.
How about, like, fantasy? This is going way off topic and I can't remember the channel's name, but he makes clay models out of shit like this. He made a dragon shark
Oh.
and it was amazing.
There's also a
Oh,
lady
yeah.
on YouTube called Meg's Mashables, and she does. She's an animator and she draws things, and she's got bits like this.
Again, animals to put together. Let me think.
Well, crab, scorpion, crab.
The crab is there, like
Crab scorpion done.
Unfortunately, that's what your
a crab scorpion.
That's what
Fine.
your heart went
What are you
for.
calling it though? The crustacean sensation.
Scrabion. So a bit
Scrabion.
of both. You take the first half of the scorpion, put the crab in the middle,
Yeah.
and then take the second half of Scrabion. That's not bad.
Literally, chop it in half,
The name is
cram it in, mash it back
The
together,
name is as
just
shit.
like this fucking animal.
The name is as shit as the animal itself. The Scrabion. In the blue corner, we have the Scrabion. Right.
I've got the Snelephant.
The Snelephant.
A Snelephant.
A Snelephant.
Really slow
I need to
moving,
write this
massive snail.
No, with the trunk.
With a trunk.
And like the skin and stuff.
Snail with the skin of an elephant. Do you imagine it to have feet?
It's just really big. No, it has got a snail underneath. It's got a mushy underneath.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But with the toes of an elephant.
That mushy underneath might get exploited by the
Wait.
Scrabion.
By the time that I've like just rolled over you very slowly, you'd be suffocated.
That's
You'd
true.
literally just have to sit there while
Okay.
I'm just
And take it, bitch.
Well, the Scrabion, you know that shell on the Scrabion is hard as fuck.
Yeah, if it goes inside, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I
And
just
the-
very slowly sexually assault.
So what are the...
And there's nothing you can.
So the snail is just gonna suffocate you. The Snelephant,
Yeah,
I apologise, is gonna
Sometimes you
suffocate.
come out the other end, sometimes you don't because like the lack of.
Okay, so I'm just
like,
picturing a
and-
big snail with a shit trunk at the front.
That's
that.
basically
Oh, is that it? Fuck it. It's not no tusks, none of that shit.
Hard as fuck.
No,
though.
like everything is scaled up huge. Like it is very
Yeah.
animated when it's like it's having a look around, but it's a bit deadly on the eyes. It just keeps going.
I imagine it being like the
Doesn't
size
stop.
of Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop. Like it hasn't really got a conscience. It's just like a snail.
The
No
okay.
sense when you look at the shiny bits on the carpet. You're like, what the
So your
fuck?
your Snelephant is much bigger than my Scrabion.
As in, like,
Ooh.
Much bigger.
Yours.
I was picturing the size of the house for the Scrabion. We'll keep it
Oh,
like
really?
that. No, that's interesting. We'll keep it
Yeah.
like that.
Because you could do the sneak attack.
Yeah,
I imagine you're quite literally the size of a crab.
it's
compared
beam strength. Yeah.
Compared to Wembley Stadium snail. It'll take like 3 days before you come out the other end.
He's there with a deadly pincer movement. You fuck. I'll have you.
Yeah, mine veers slightly to the left. You've had it. Oh yeah, we need a triple threat match. What's yours?
I was hoping that you'd pass me by.
Right.
I know that you've probably been expecting me to have been thinking about what I would have this entire time.
I
and
kinda
paid no
was.
attention to it.
You could go air, and you could swoop in and do some shit.
I could, but in fairness, have you ever seen a goat when it's mad and it's fucking relentless headbutting you?
Yes, I've had that
Yeah.
happen to me.
It's not nice,
No,
is it?
it's not.
So imagine that. We'll have a goat because that's not nice. We've got some ramming action, and
Oh,
I feel like
already. Head first.
head first.
Yes, in the
Of course.
equation.
Because we've got death by slow smothering,
Yeah.
And we've also
like
got
just mindless.
Whatever the fuck the Scrabion does is
pincer thing. You've got a
pincer thing tail.
You've got a stinger.
Relatively well armoured, yeah. It's decent. It's not an underdog, the Scrabion.
It's the most aggressive, but the smallest.
Mm.
Mine is the most mindless, but the most massive. So you're gonna have to...
How big is the goat?
Wait,
What's your second animal?
I don't know what my second animal is. I need something that's got really good protection from your stinger.
I don't want to help you. You've got to come up with this.
I know. So something like a tortoise, but they're so fucking slow.
Unfortunately, that's what your has chosen. So what is it?
No, I'm not landing on tortoise. You can fuck off.
As if yours is the size of Wembley. That's shocking. 85,000.
I feel responsible.
We've been to Wembley. That is a big ass fucking Snelephant.
It's gonna have to be a really good cross with this fucking goat.
Compared to your
That's-
normal
that's-
size crab.
That's kaiju size. That Snelephant. That needs to be in like Pacific Rim.
Godzilla would have a hard time.
It would. Mine's not tiny. Mine's bigger than roughly the house size.
No, come on, you gotta have a normal size crab. So in my mind now, like I'm just coming towards you. Like, don't worry, lads, I've got
A normal sized crab. I'd expect the Snelephant to win.
Fucking pictures sideways as well.
And then it just shrunk for 3 days, and then you still come again.
No, it's the size of a house. Give it
Trying
a
to hold
shot.
up the slimy bullshit with its little pincers. Oh, very impressive pincers. Size of a house.
Focus, guys. We need to figure out what Claire's point with this goat.
Yes, we do. Sorry, I have been delaying on purpose. I'm going to have to go. I might go double on the ram in action and go rhino and goat and just double down because rhino's got a tough hide as well.
I suppose it'd just be best to just keep with a rhino.
And what are you?
No, fuck off my goat.
Just a big rhino.
I really want the goat.
So what are you naming this amalgamation of flavour? Your rhino and goat
Ghino.
Ghino. Scrabion versus Snelephant versus Ghino.
Everyone is terrified of the Ghino.
It is. It's definitely the most sexually aggressive sounding one of the three.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Which
have
is
you not
important.
heard?
That's very important. The Snelephant, now the Ghino, it kind of reminds me of gonorrhea a little bit.
Well, gynecologist.
Oh, that as well.
Yeah. I feel like if there's only one of you, there should be like thousands of you. Like, you know, like a colony. You know how you see them when they go across the road? And there's fucking millions of them when they all... Isn't it when all the eggs hatch and they all fuck off to the ocean, but it's all been built up now, so they're going across roads and stuff, and it's like a sea of crabs.
Yeah.
That could be you.
No, it's just one big Scrabion the size of your average house. Why is
Yeah.
my size being questioned? Hers is the size of a stadium. A big stadium.
Yeah, the biggest
What
one.
snails do you know that are even remotely compared to that?
Mine's pretty big.
A normal crab is bigger than a normal snail, although the elephant thing does kind of make up for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Super sick.
It would be a sick fight between the three.
It would be. Comment down below who you think would win. I've been watching a few adaptations of, you know, some of the Lovecraft films.
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, so it's all like,
The guy who did Cthulhu.
that's it, yeah, all Lovecraftian stuff. You know, they're doing a Nosferatu.
Are they?
Yeah, they're remaking Nosferatu. It's being released in 2024. So, an ancient Transylvanian vampire stalks a haunted young woman in 19th century Germany. So, Nosferatu is one of those where they kind of... It's Robert Eggers is directing this one. It's basically a Dracula film, but they couldn't use Dracula because they weren't sold the rights to use
that's
it.
right, yes.
So, we're like, well, all right, we'll do everything but the name. And it, you know, looks a bit different.
Synonyms are beautiful, aren't they?
Are they? So, you know the Dracula you've seen where he's got the bat teeth, they're in the front?
Yeah.
That's Nosferatu.
Oh, right.
There you go. Willem Dafoe's going to be in it.
Oh, I live for him.
He's got the face for that role.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has.
Nicholas Hoult as well is going to be in it. You know the fella that...
Played Tolkien.
Did he?
He played
Oh.
Tolkien in the biographical drama. He played Beast in X-Men. He played
Oh,
a character's
yes.
name I can't remember in The Menu. He also played a kind of vampiric creature.
Renfield.
Thank you. Nicolas Cage played Dracula himself.
Well done.
Lily Rose Depp is going to be in it as well, you know, Johnny Depp's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know she was a lesbian.
She be.
Can I return us to Middle Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Only
about time.
It's about time. Yeah, it's been a brief few minutes. Worth the deviation though.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
More Lord of the Rings-esque movie news. Another one, the War of the Rohirrim is an anime film that's going to be released on December 13th of this year, cinema. Produced by Philippa Boyens again, so she's going to be coming into a lot of money working on these upcoming future Lord of the Rings projects, as well as this one. The synopsis: 183 years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy, legendary King of Rohan, Helm Hammerhand, you might recognise that name, voiced by Brian Cox, the Scottish actor, not the Professor.
I was going to ask you.
I had to double check that one, to be honest. Along with his men, must defend their kingdom against an army of Dunlendines. Miranda Otto, who you all know as Eowyn, is narrating the movie. I'll probably review it. Miranda Otto is hot as fuck.
Yeah, it's all about Eowyn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you reference what she's been in?
Apart from Lord of the
I've
Rings,
seen her
I
in
don't
stuff,
know.
but I couldn't.
Lord of the Rings, who was she then?
Eowyn, the Shield Maiden of Rohan.
Oh.
Fine as
Indeed.
fuck.
Aragorn's would-be side piece, but he just
He was too into Arwen.
way too hard.
Stigmatised. Yeah.
I think he made the wrong decision. I think Eowyn's hotter.
Well, Faramir ended up with her in the end.
Yeah, that's so fucking.
Subpar.
Yeah,
It
that's the poor man's Aragorn. Faramir.
Well,
Wow.
wasn't she the poor woman's Arwen?
I think she's no, because Faramir
In
is
some people's opinion,
Faramir
not
is-
mine.
Faramir is blatantly a beta male compared to Aragorn, but I think that Eowyn's
Eowyn's help.
more my taste, certainly. Sword fighting's hot.
To be fair,
These are facts.
For me, it's because she's a bit ginger.
There is that as well. But no, this would have been years before Eowyn was born, a very long time before Eowyn was born. I think she's just, because it's to do with Rohan and Edoras and Helm's Deep, her character was very much cemented in that area, like she's from Edoras, Shield Maiden of Rohan and stuff. It's nice to have her in. Bit of nostalgia as well, because she was in the original trilogy.
It's always good to have a shout back.
Absolutely.
Does no one own the rights to Lord of the Rings? Is that like a free agent? You know how Star Wars...
Warner Brothers own a fair chunk of it. That's where these movies are being produced.
Oh, so there's like...
The family and the estate.
Yeah, the Tolkien estate as well. They have to ask permission from certain sets of people to give the go ahead.
This will have been signed off by the family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool then. Okay.
So was The Hobbit though, so...
Well...
Speaking of purchasing the rights to produce Tolkien-related shit, the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer dropped recently. Has anyone seen it?
No, how do we feel about it though?
It felt more Lord of the Ringsy than the entirety of its predecessor because they tried to emulate certain scenes from Jackson's trilogy. In layman's terms, it's very heavy on the member berries, judging by the berries. It's not a long trailer.
Right.
Which is fine, who doesn't love a bit of nostalgia, I guess, but I'm hoping they're not relying on the member berries' taste masking some unsavoury flavours, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. It looks way more aggressive than the first season. There's a lot going on. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I'm intrigued. I'm going to have a look. Shall we have a watch?
Maybe the first season they played it a little bit safe and actually got it like a read of like what the demographic was watching, and then like really turned it up when they realised what sort of people were watching it.
The first season was predominantly all about setup, yeah.
Quite palatable.
My feeling is that they've kind of listened to the fans a bit.
Oh, it's been slated. It's going to get slated and by some
For
people,
sure.
praised by others. Like pretty much every form of medium, I guess.
Would you like to watch it?
Go on.
Okay, now that you've seen it, what do you think?
I can see what you mean about the callbacks, for sure.
Yeah.
Like the Mines of Moria, Stone gets... like
on the bridge of
Stone falls
Khazad-dûm,
on the bridge of Khazad-dûm, yes, exactly that one.
There's many examples of that in there for certain.
They're really gearing up for like something to be lost, aren't they? Yeah, like they've put down all the like sort of palatable groundwork season 1. This season they've done all the throwbacks, so like everyone really is, they're trying to invest you as much as they can, aren't they?
We shall see, and we'll find out from August the 29th onwards, which is when the second season is released. This will mean I do need to rewatch season 1 beforehand, which sadly means that me and Uhtred may have to take a break.
I told you that when you're feeling a Vikings gap, that Last Kingdom was going to fill that void. You're not going to like it, but you are going to get...
I sort of like it. I like it sometimes. I've finished season 3 just. Alfred has died.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward has, with obviously the assist from Uhtred, has won a battle against Canute and Heston and has now been crowned king because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at.
What's his kingdom?
The
Last Kingdom.
Last Kingdom, sorry, yeah.
With Uhtred of Bevenberg.
I think that's what season 4 is going to be all about now. Now that the shit in Wessex has concluded he's going to now focus on reclaiming his rightful heir.
Oh,
His rightful throne in Edinburgh or whatever.
it's a done deal.
You know some bollocks will happen and he'll go fucking off in the other
Oh,
direction.
he loves the side quest.
Honestly, he is ultimate side quest.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's a fucking struggle, it really is. Oh, some twat had the audacity to tell me that it was better than Vikings. I didn't know at the time because I hadn't seen it. No, there's no way. You realise pretty quickly that it's nowhere near as good as Vikings.
As in story-wise or like visually?
Everything.
The thing is about The Last Kingdom is that you're charmed by it because you just like Viking content. And as Viking content goes, we've all seen some good shit, we've all seen some bad shit. It sits in between.
So that's why the thirst, like it quenches the thirst, really.
But you're always at arm's distance.
The music frustrates the shit out of me as well.
Ivor.
Yeah, I love Ivor, Sin Alive and all that kind of shit. Great music, but it's how they've used it. It's sped up or slowed down and layered on top of each other to suit whatever tempo it's going for. Like, two of the songs just together at different speeds. It's like, what the fuck is this? Anyway.
It could have been done more elegantly, yes.
There's 2 more seasons and a movie left, and then I'm done with Uhtred.
There's a movie?
Yeah. They capped it off with a movie. It's on
Did
Netflix.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I would have seen this then if it just carried on.
Come on, you've got to see the film now.
Oh no, I'm to the end now.
Yeah.
I've got it. It's got it.
Yeah, you've got it. That's
I will
the
do it.
completionist in you.
Anyway, Uhtred has led us astray for too much. I now want to bring us to
Dickhead of the Week.
My original Dickhead of the Week was actually going to be directed at Warner Brothers, who accidentally put a copyright strike on the 2009 Hunt for Gollum movie. It was a complete accident. And then they obviously retracted on it. It was going to be that, and then I was struggling for a Dickhead of the Week until... So, on the 21st of March, HBO released a couple of trailers for House of the Dragon Season 2.
Right.
Very, very nice. Black vs. Green, loving the setup, loved the first season. First episode will be released on June 16th. Lovely, wonderful, great.
Nice.
Fast forward to the 13th of May, Amazon announces it's going to release a trailer for The Rings of Power Season 2 the following day. So the 14th of May arrives, and HBO blindsided the internet by releasing another trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2 completely unannounced to try and take away a lot of the spotlight from Amazon. I have no idea if it was uploaded before or after the Rings of Power trailer lands, but I still think it was a dick move on HBO's part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do it?
It's legit. You've both got them nappy anyway, just calm it down.
Why go head to head?
This happened with the first seasons as well. None of their programs will be released at the same time. Like, the last episode of House of the Dragon Season 2 airs on the 4th of August, 25 days before the Rings of Power first episode airs.
Their fans are the same people. Why are they trying to do that?
So what, the trailers come out at the same time?
Yeah, that was literally my next note. It says, I doubt they're going to steal each other's fan base.
No, they are the same fan base.
Yeah, you can watch both. You can watch neither.
Dare I say,
You might not want to watch one or the other.
could this be a 4D chess move where they would actually benefit both?
You think they're trying to...
Iron sharpens iron, sort of thing. Competition is healthy.
Yeah, like, people chatting about us both having it done at the same time.
You're talking about a Barbie Oppenheimer situation where it was actually
Was it staged?
strategic on Barbie's part.
Well, I just kind of find it ironic and funny in ways because obviously House of the Dragon is based on George R.R. Martin's work, who was heavily influenced by Tolkien.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's the respect?
Yeah.
For the record, I don't think it actually was much of a successful PR stunt because the Rings of Power trailer on YouTube had 10 million views, and House of the Dragons one released on the same day is at 4 million. And I checked that before recording as well.
House of Dragon is on...
HBO, Disney Plus, I think.
Disney Plus. That's why I haven't bothered.
Was it HBO Max? Sorry, it's HBO
I don't know.
Max.
It's behind a paywall though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is why when they separate TV in this way, they try and draw people in by doing bullshit like this. But if you put it behind a paywall, you can get fucked.
Yeah, the viewership probably will be based on accessibility, certainly. Like Amazon Prime, who doesn't have Amazon Prime? Because you like to order bollocks.
Legit.
I love ordering bollocks, and I can also watch The Rings of Power as a nice little kind of healthy bonus. Whereas if I want to watch House of the Dragon, I have to go on to
Or you'd steal the
another
password
streamer
from a
service
mate.
subscription. Yeah, or you just do that. Or
You know a guy that has it, lets you borrow his password for a day. Fuck
Either
you,
way.
Netflix.
Regardless, I think it was a dick move on HBO's
That is a
part, so
Dickhead.
therefore I think
Yeah.
worthy of being an entrant to the Dickhead of the Week.
It's just silly
Yeah.
behaviour, there's no need.
Repent, and thou shalt be saved.
I genuinely had a hell of a lot of fucking fun recording
Yeah.
this
That
one.
was a good
My
one.
favourite in a long time, this one was
Yeah.
definitely. We turned 30 in the summer.
Yes.
One more and then the
Lovely.
quiz. Mum hasn't done any fucking questions yet, and we're in
She's-
May.
She's mad that she's having to do it.
I even told her, I was like, Eurovision happened like last week. She was like, ah, shit. I was like, yeah, it's not like you watched it with us or anything.
And it's been infuriating me, Eurovision, because I have had Ollie Alexander's shit song in my head all week, to the point where I know the lyrics now.
That's shit.
That's a compliment to a song, isn't it? If you can get your head like that.
Proper earwig. Proper earwig.
Yeah.
Surprisingly bad Eurovision, actually.
Yeah, it was, really.
Mm.
It wasn't even because we weren't watching it in a caravan this time either. It was just,
The quality of Eurovision
Yeah.
alone.
yeah, and just way more politically heavier than usual. And
Yeah,
that's a
it
lot for
wasn't
saying a
camp.
lot for Eurovision. No.
That's all we asked for, and it was
Yeah.
not count.
Graham Norton phoned it in a bit as well. I don't know.
He was
Yeah.
like more snarky.
Yeah, with the
Very,
whole
like,
thing was,
sarcastic.
it was
The whole thing was less fun than
way,
usual.
and way more awkward than usual too.
Yeah, you could feel the tension
Yeah.
coming from through the screen.
And then it came to our door because security were like,
Turn it down.
Turn it down.
No, sorry. Even Loreen, you can rely on her for a good performance. Even her performance was shit. You know the one that won last year?
Oh yeah, with the fingernails.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the chair that didn't move, where it was like the entire concept was the chair, and they thought that they could just rely on that, and it
Yeah,
past it being a chair, where did it go?
that's not our Eurovision.
No, look, as Graham said, it looked like she was going through a car wash.
Great. Oh, you got me back. Go
The sass. Very strange Eurovision. Hopefully some things will settle down.
We'll caravan it next year.
We've got it.
Definitely
In
caravan it next year.
Switzerland, is that where it is?
Well, you want a caravan in
Um,
Switzerland? Let's go.
Yes, Switzerland.
Yeah, it is in Switzerland. Right then, fuck this. See you in summer.
Yes. See you in summer.
The big 3-0.
To Roger Corman.
We should watch Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader.